All right, what's up, sports freaks? And big shout out to our dude Abraham Castaneda for that awesome guitar shred. You can check him out on YouTube, youtube.com, Abraham Castaneda. He even works for Dragon Ball Z. It's pretty freaking cool. Make sure you check it out. And y'all also need to check out the madness that took this week, whether it was golf, freaking hockey, boxing, college football, college basketball, girls basketball. Hell, WNBA has some big news this week. I literally have news for almost every sport. I say almost because I don't want no NASCAR people come run me over or something in right now, okay? Go over to my side. I got my dude Gilbert A. Placencia. He's not feeling too hot tonight, but he loves you guys, so he's here to do his thing. So, Gilbert, thank you. Let's do our thing, man.
Let's do it.
Hell
Just like
yeah.
gold.
We got George coming in a little bit later. He worked overtime, die-hard worker. So, I'm sporting my Titans. We lost, but much love to your teams. Always support your teams, yo. All right.
Yeah, it was tricky.
Nah, it hurt. It hurt. We'll get into that when we get to NFL. All right. So let's just get started, man. We're just gonna jump right into it. Again, this will be our last Triple B 2.0. Yeah, this is a Triple B 2.0 episode 8. You want it, come and get it. This will be our last one that we do at 9 a.m. And then after this week, since the football playoffs are going back to normal, we will more than likely be moving our show to either the early afternoon or late afternoon or early evening so that you guys can have that. All right, so enough chitter chatter. Let's jump into college football. We all knew what was going to happen. We said it last week. We knew it was going to happen, and it happened. Alabama, Ohio State, a 6-0 team against like a 12-0 team, I think it was. Personally, if you ask me, I don't think Ohio State should have even been in the top 4. We talked about this already. But Alabama walked to the title, bro. We knew they would, and they did. 52-34.
Oh my god, man! And I was giving them a slight chance, but it wasn't even close, man. It wasn't even close at all.
Not at all. I mean, I got it. You got to give it up the Fields. He did what he could, but it's Alabama, bro. They had #1 recruiting class in all of the NCAA. You can't touch them. You just can't.
Alabama's always in the mix, bro. They're always there. They're always there.
Yeah, which is funny because oh god, I don't know if I did it. Yeah, I got the way too early ranks, and Alabama's not #1. So we'll get into that at the end.
Wow.
So Alabama walks the title 52-34. Devontae Smith was amazing as expected, and he's actually going to the NFL draft as well. Mac Jones going to the NFL draft. It's going to be a stacked draft this year, bro. It's going to be freaking dope. Josh Fields from Ohio State, of course, Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. So many huge names are going to be going this year. It's going to be pretty freaking crazy. So once again, roll Tide roll. I don't say that as a fan because that hurts me, but I know there's a bunch of y'all Alabamans out there. A lot of Alabama fans out here, actually. You'd be surprised out here in Southern California. We have a lot of Alabama fans. So 52-34. They won again, bro. I don't know what else to say. Nick Saban is amazing. And if you ask me, Nick Saban is a freaking Hall of Famer. Like, second he retires.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get into those Hall of Fames in just a minute. I mentioned those way too early ranks. And I'm going to go ahead and shoot those out to you. This is per the NCAA and AP poll. Top 5. We're only going to do top 5. Some of them are about where they were at the end. And then some, like I said, Alabama's not even #1. This is going into next season.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going into next season. You got Hall of Famers. Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma, Alabama, and Cleveland. I mean, not Cleveland, Clemson. Wow, I said Cleveland. It's been a long day, y'all, for all of us. Clemson at #1.
Wow.
So, it's going to be pretty freaking crazy.
I like that's a nice top 3, though.
No, go ahead. Talk about it a little bit for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would think Alabama will be at least first place after they won. But, yeah, the top 3 is definitely it's a nice mix. You got Oklahoma there as well, man. You can't sleep on Oklahoma. So
you can never sleep on Oklahoma. Never. It's funny you mention Oklahoma because the 2021 NCAA Hall of Fame has come out, and there's an Oklahoma person on there. So the 4 names that I got that I saw, pretty much everybody knows. The first one is a guy out of Eastern Illinois. You might have heard of him. You're a Cowboy fan. Some guy named Tony Romo. So
oh,
yeah,
like
yeah, you know that guy a little bit. Yeah, Tony Romo.
that's what we do.
Yeah, that's right. Clemson running back CJ Spiller. He was pretty freaking dope.
Oh
Heisman
yes, he was.
Trophy, yeah, Heisman Trophy winner out of I am so done. Out of United States, out of University of Southern California, Carson Palmer, and the Oklahoma one you brought up was actually Coach Bob Stoops, who was actually in the XFL recently.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. So shout out to all of them for making the Hall of Fame, man. That's pretty freaking cool.
Nice, nice.
It's so funny because like everybody always pays attention to the professional Hall of Fames. There's so many different Hall of Fames out there that just people just don't notice, you know?
Right.
So yeah. Speaking of Hall of Famers, this guy possibly, I'm gonna say possibly because I don't put him in the Hall of Fame yet. If he can win some more bigger fights, maybe in the next couple of years or so, you could probably put him up there. Four division champion, which means he's won in 4 different weight classes. 4 division champion Adrian Broner is set to return. We kind of gave a little teaser on this last week. He's returning February 13th. It'll be the first time in 2 years that he's fought. So who knows how he's going to be? He might be amazing. He might be totally rusty. January 19th, 2019 was his last fight, which is almost 2 years to the day of today.
Does he have an opponent yet, Ricky, or not yet?
Not announced that I know about, but we'll see if we can figure that out by next week, and I'll let you guys know about that.
Do you remember his last fight, his last opponent?
I do not. I have to look it up. January 19th, 2019. You want to look it up? You can look up Adrian Broner's last fighter if you want to do, or last opponent if you want to do that. Go ahead.
I just the time span that he's coming back after like
2 years.
that long period. Yeah, it's 2 years, right?
Fighters tend to do that, and it's kind of crazy because even the MMA we'll get into in a little bit. Like Conor left for like a year or two, and then he came back. So you never know. You never know.
Well, you know how that way.
But bro, who knows? Who knows? They could be training right now for all we know. Like
right. He could have been training this whole time. Exactly.
Yeah. And you don't know because you're not following them. I mean, unless you're like an analyst who like stalks them and stuff. You know, you don't know. You don't know what's going on. So that's gonna be pretty cool. With still no word on Tyson Holyfield. Fingers still crossed because we got to see this. This has to happen.
They got to make it happen. Something has to happen.
Yeah, this one
absolutely. Charity or something. Even if it's for charity, something has to happen, man. Everybody wants.
No, there's not gonna be no charity with these two. It's either gonna be let them go all out or they're not gonna want to fight.
Right.
It's just that simple. And then the last one, the new guy Alex Garcia, he just won a huge fight last week. He's actually talking about retiring I think he's 28, retiring from boxing, and he's retiring from boxing, not retiring in general, retiring from boxing and heading to the octagon. So
Ricky,
you were saying it earlier. What's up with these boxers doing this? You know,
right? What's going on with these MMA fighters making the switch to boxing, man? Like
and boxing going to MMA. It's like it's not a cross promotion.
It really isn't, and those two sports are really different in a way. MMA is really more aggressive when it comes down to it. Boxing is more, I believe, of a mind game. But
that's a good way to put it. I never thought of it that way. I really never thought of it that way. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's like doesn't regardless of what sport he's in, boxing or MMA, it's gonna be knockdown, drag out. It's gonna be, you're gonna have to scratch, claw, and try to climb your way to the top. And there's a huge soccer match this Sunday. Huge. This is biggest of the year, I would say. Biggest. You're in the Premier League. We don't talk about the Premier League much, but these two you have to mention. Liverpool versus Man U, bro, on Sunday.
Oh man, those are two great teams right there, man. Liverpool and Man U are always at the top, bro. Always at the top. Yeah. So it'd be a great game to watch.
Historical. There's no other word to describe them except historical. Exactly. My friend, I have a friend on TikTok. Her name is Hannah. Shout out to Hannah C290. She's freaking awesome. She loves Liverpool. Loves Liverpool. So when they won Premier last year, she made this like super cool video of her switching into her jersey and stuff and like screaming and cheering. And it's a big deal over there. It's
bro, Liverpool fans are crazy, just like Laker fans, bro.
Right? Yeah.
They love their team.
They do love their team. They're very dedicated. So,
yes, sir.
I'm not a huge soccer guy. I'm not going to BS anybody. I'm not a huge soccer guy, But I think I might even tune into this. It's in the God, I think it's in the afternoon though, so I might have to like put it on my computer while I'm watching the football games or something.
Oh,
We're gonna
that's
have to do something.
I love great matchups, so I might tune in and might watch it as well, bro.
Yeah, check it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
From going from the biggest soccer league in the Premier League to let's just say soccer junior, the MLS, or the redheaded stepchild of soccer, MLS. They actually just got this team a couple of years ago, the Montreal Impact.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 2 years ago that Montreal Impact got it. Montreal got a team. But they're being sponsored, and now they are changing their name to Club de Foot Montreal. Why? The sponsorship crap drives me nuts. We went over this, dude. When this was bats, balls, and belts, you and me used to go through this shit. I would say, why do you have to be named after a sponsor? I get the money
Right?
there,
Just
stadiums,
like League,
it's nuts. It's nuts.
just like the G League. It used to
Mm-hmm.
be as a G League. I
Yeah,
don't like it. I
money,
don't like
money, money talks, dude.
that.
Money talks. There's no other way to put it. Money talks, and it sucks for like Montreal's a very traditional place,
Mm-hmm.
and
Can you run that name by me one more time? I just want.
Club, yeah, Club de Foot. So club for you non-accent people. Club
Mm-hmm.
de Foot Montreal. Club de Foot Montreal.
That's a tough one.
Right? I'm
That's
not
a
gonna say that at every game. Jeez and
tough
crackers,
one.
man. And imagine those names on those teams. Good God. It's
Oh
gonna
man.
be nuts. Speaking of big names, I'm gonna hit the PGA real quick. For you guys don't know what PGA is, that's golf. We're gonna jump into the golf world a little bit. Annika Sorenstam and Gary Player, two huge names in PGA, received the Medal of Freedom from still our president, President Trump. What's today's Friday? Yesterday they received it. So shout out to them for that. That's one of the highest honors you can get for whatever it is they're doing, whether it's a charity overseas or a charity here or doing stuff through the PGA or whatever it is they're doing. So, big shout out to them. That's what I got to say
I
about
love
that.
that, man.
Yeah.
We
It's
need more
awesome.
people to do that, man. Really.
It's funny you say that because we've got another story coming in a little bit that has to do with the Medal of Freedom. So, but you know, staying on the Trump train here. Again, we do not. I'm putting this disclaimer out right now before we get the hate mail. We do not talk politics on this show. However, this is golf related. I will be letting you know the 2022 PGA Championship is moving locations from the Trump National Golf Club due to that mass madness at the Capitol.
Mm.
That's all. That's as political as we're going to get today.
Hmm.
So that's a huge tournament. Anything
Oh
with
yeah.
the PGA in front of it is a huge tournament. And
Yep.
because of what happened, it's gone. It's lost. So
Man, I would always.
go
I
ahead.
would want. I wouldn't mind attending the PGA tournament, man, just to see how
Mm-hmm.
everything worked out, man. That's kind of cool, man.
We go to Pebble Beach, man. That'd be cool. Or even the one down
Right?
here in San Diego, that'd be cool too.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. You know what else is pretty cool is when you are known for mentoring legends. Unfortunately, the men's college basketball world lost a big name in Dr. Donald, also known as D. Rowe, at the age of 91.
Oh
This
man.
guy was not only the ambassador for UConn for 5 decades. For you guys don't know that math, it's 50 freaking years. But he also mentored Coach Calhoun and Coach Gino.
Wow.
So
Two other great coaches right there.
legendary names. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to put it. Legendary names. So rest in peace to Coach D. Rowe. And obviously his legacy is living on through Coach Gino and Coach Calhoun.
Oh, definitely. He made the best. He made the best out of his life, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. And you know what? It's funny you just said what you said. I didn't plan for you to say that. You just said he made the best out of his life. Well, unfortunately, we're going to go from a guy who died at 91 to a baller that died at 22.
Oh man.
So the University of Kentucky just lost multi-sport. He was a baseball player, basketball player, track. 22-year-old Ben Jordan. So it's still an undisclosed illness. No one said what exactly has happened. When we get that, we'll let you know about that. So rest in peace to 22-year-old Ben Jordan.
Oh,
Life's too short, you guys. Live your
is
life, love your family. That's all I can keep saying when it comes to this stuff.
yeah.
And again, talking about death, being sick, we're being downers. I promise there's happy stories coming. We talked about last week, Coach K had COVID and he was on COVID protocol. He was been gone for a few games now. He returned this week to coach the University of Duke. I mean,
Nice.
you talk to me, I think of Duke, I think of Coach K. You know,
Oh, definitely.
I just do. And it was so weird seeing him not on the sideline during these events.
Duke and Coach K go together like peanut butter and jelly, bro.
There you go. Unless people
Just
like peanut butter bananas. So
they just go together.
no, they do. Like Rama Lama Lama Kadink Dink. Sorry, Grease
I think
moment.
he's back.
Yeah. So that's that. So I'm glad Coach K is back. You know, his boys are probably glad that he's back. It's a comfort level when you're a player, you know, like, hey, okay, we got this assistant coach, they're cool, you know, but you feel comfortable with your coach. Unless it's a coach you don't like when Josiah told us about his coach, you know, then you're like, oh hell yeah, that fucker's gone, you know. But Coach K is a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a champion. He's a medalist. I mean, his list goes on and on. So when I heard he went down, I was kind of worried. So I'm glad that he's back. Another team that's had a couple issues. You actually mentioned it at the beginning of middle of the year, I think. Not during this show, but we were talking when we were still doing interviews with the Oxnard Orca players. You mentioned University of Kansas and that they were struggling. They're still ranked pretty high, but they got upset this week again. And they lost to Oklahoma State this time. Unranked Oklahoma State. And Kansas is ranked number 6, or they were. So they were. I emphasize they were.
Something's going on behind the scenes that we don't know, man.
Exactly. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I totally agree with you 1,000%.
Let's jump in. Yeah. Something's going on.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear about like all the legendary names that came out of Kansas, and now they're just, I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know. But then
Kansas,
go ahead.
Kansas is there as well. Like when you think of schools, top schools, you think of Kansas as well.
Yeah.
They're up there, man. Well, I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, well, our very own T. Loudermill, remember? She was going to go to Kansas. She went to Nebraska instead. So there's reasons. I'm just saying. Yeah, there you go. Rankings. We got the rankings. Pretty much the same. Actually, no. Number 4 has changed. We're talking about Kansas. We're talking about Duke. Neither one of them are in the top 5. And you got 2 teams here that I wouldn't expect to see in the top 5, you know, since Kevin Durant was there. And then the other one I've never seen in a basketball top 10. Talking about University of Iowa. You think of that, you think of football, right? University of Texas, again, football. But, you know, Kevin Durant went there. Then you got the top 3, Nova, Baylor, and Gonzaga. No surprise on this end. I don't know about you, but I'm not surprised at all.
I mean, not really surprised, man. Butler, Gonzaga. When it comes to that, those sports, they're always up there as well. So,
well, Butler's not even. I don't even know if Butler's in the top 10. I mean, we've only been giving the top 5. I haven't even really checked the top 10.
I think when Gordon Hayward was there, they were a top team, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what's even crazier is if you get a chance to see siblings face each other, or even parents and children face each other. Happened. That happened this week. That happened in women's basketball, college basketball, NCAA women. It was the University of Holy Cross against the Army University, obviously. A father versus a daughter. That was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a really cool story. Maureen and Dave McGritty. Maureen McGritty actually came out on top, so the daughter gets the dub as Holy Cross took out Army. That's going to be an interesting Thanksgiving this year.
That she got some, what's it called? Points.
Yeah, she's got bragging rights over daddy.
Rights.
So
over her dad.
I love seeing, you know, we haven't really in a while, we haven't really seen a father versus a son. We've seen fathers with sons, you know, the Griffeys, you know, stuff like that. God, so many.
We've seen brother against brother lately.
Many brothers and brothers. Yeah, absolutely. You know, we got the Gurriels right now in baseball. We got the ball and basketball, and you know, hockey. We get it all the time. The Sundin brother. It's crazy. But a father and a daughter. I don't think I've ever heard that.
I don't think so. Neither. That's the first for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. It's historical. Gotta love history, right?
Family history.
Okay, this next thing is not as bad as the blowout we had 2 weeks ago when it was 112-26. This one was still pretty bad. We had a big blowout this week. Oregon, the Ducks defeated Cal 100-41. This is the ladies.
Wow. The
Again,
ladies.
mercy rule. Like
Ladies.
they won by 60, bro, or almost 60.
You telling me some ladies did this?
This is girls, bro. Hey, shout out to all the ladies. Our ladies kick butt, you know that. But this is in girls basketball. Oregon beat Cal 100-41.
They must have been lighting it up, bro.
It's
Oh
insane.
man, what to say?
It's insane. There's no other way to put it. It's straight up insane. There were some upsets this week as well. Washington State, so the Cougs, Wazoo as they're known as, defeated at the time number 7 Arizona State. I say at the time because later in the week the rankings changed, and LSU defeated now number 7 Texas A&M. So apparently being number 7 was not a good thing this week.
And
it's supposed to be lucky. It's supposed to be lucky 7.
Not this year.
Yeah,
or
seriously,
not
right?
these rankings.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy. We were getting the rankings of the ladies. Again, no changes. Like I told coach, like there's 2 schools here. I'm just like, wow, I did not expect these girls to be here. And I guess you can be I'm gonna pawn off of you here.
Okay.
South Carolina, UConn, North Carolina State, Louisville, and Stanford. Again, South Carolina and North Carolina State. Where did they come from? And they're killing it.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I definitely did not see both of them coming, but they're up there. So I mean, we gotta watch out for them, man, because they're there. They're there.
Yeah, and when you're in the top 5, there's usually a good chance you're gonna produce some future professionals. Get some future WNBA in there, or who knows.
Dude, I'm ready for this March Madness, bro. I'm ready.
Likewise, both sides, men and women. It's gonna be really, really good. Again, that's gonna be in a bubble. You brought that up, so I remember the bubble in Indy.
Nice.
Big surprise in the WNBA. I don't have many WNBA stories, but their free agency did open up today, and huge names, 3 of the biggest names in WNBA.
Hold on, before you say anything, I want to say these women are like the horseman of WNBA. Like,
yeah, we just need one more. We'll probably we have to throw one more in there with them. I don't know who yet. We can figure it out. But they're all still playing. That's the thing. They're all still playing. Their free agency opens today. I don't know if they're going to take the free agency, but it looks like they might. And personally, one of them is a spark, so it makes me kind of nervous.
Yeah.
All right, here they are. You got Candace Parker of the LA Sparks, the GOAT, Diana Taurasi of the Phoenix Mercury, and then you got world champion Sue Bird of the Seattle Storm. Those are just 3 names. Imagine the other names that are out there right now. These are just the names that I saw on the headline.
Personally, for me, I would love to see all of them go back to their team. But think about it, bro. Imagine if Diana Taurasi and Candace Parker decided to play on one team.
Woo, give them the chip now. Give them the chip now.
They busted LeBron James, man. That's crazy.
God, right? It'd be insane. But and then again, it's funny to see Taurasi's name on there because remember we were talking, if not last week, the week before, Taurasi was talking retirement. Potential retirement. So, and we'll see where that goes.
She just plays at a high level still, and I can't see her retire anytime soon. But
yeah, and if she does, she'd be an amazing coach.
Oh,
I think we talked about that as well. She'd be a pretty dope coach.
I could see her as a coach, definitely.
Yeah. Well, let's go we'll jump from 3 women who absolutely kill it to some idiot in the NHL that got busted for bagging on women. And we're total pro women on this show. We love docs on our thing and teas on our thing, and we interviewed all our ladies, and we're still got more to come. We got Deja coming tomorrow or later today, so make sure you check that out. That's gonna be dope. But this moron right here, it's time for Ricky's rant. Okay, this is for you, George. All right.
Like that.
Former NHL analyst Mike Milbury gets fired after 14 years on the air for using a sexist slur while in the bubble in August. What did he say? It wasn't something huge, but it's something that was noticed, and that's what matters. He said, "Oh, there's no women here in the bubble, so that's why none of our guys are getting distracted." That's a sexual, inference.
You don't say
Freaking
that.
idiot. He did not need to say that. He could have said that off the air. He could have said that in writing. He did not need to say that on the air. He threw away 14 years for that shit right there.
Oh man, 14 years right there.
14
So
years NBC, I believe it was.
Over something stupid.
It is stupid. He didn't even notice he did it. And he's like, and I caught it immediately when he said what he said. I'm like, oh, he's talking about, hotel rooms and getting laid and stuff like that.
That's the first thing that they tell us in radio, man. Yep. You gotta think before you say.
Absolutely. Shout out to all our mentors at ARB and everybody else that we've worked under, Phil Hewlett and people like that. Happy birthday, Phil Hewlett, today. Happy birthday, Phil Hewlett. That's
Happy birthday.
Throwing that out there. Also, Mike Walters, all from the Phil Hewlett and Friends show. Sorry, guys. I love you. I missed you guys. All right, back to the show. Getting easily distracted today. Okay, so this is a big name in the NHL. San Jose Sharks, Evander Kane, originally played for the Chicago Blackhawks years ago, went to the Sharks 2 years ago, I think it was, or a year ago. Helped get them almost to the Stanley Cup. And he's filing for bankruptcy.
What?
All right. He is $27 million in debt. It is time for Ricky's Rant round 2. All right. I do not condone or back a player that has to go into bankruptcy when they were a professional ball player. Yes, if they were young, like super young, doing stupid crap, I get it. Get a mentor, get someone to help you. I mean, it's freaking dumb. Like, you're buying all this bling, you're buying all these nice cars. Use your freaking head. Look at situations that we've seen because of this. People dying on the streets. We looked at David West or Delonte West, right? There was a freaking Bill Cuban, man.
The Charles Freewell was one of them as well, bro.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Mark Cuban,
with Timberwolves just because
so many.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get people like Mark Cuban. I apologize, Mark Cuban, for going out there and rescuing him. Who knows what would have happened? You guys, when you come to, they need to teach these college kids when they go into the pros. There should be like a transition class. I've thought about this for a very long time. They should have like a transition class. Look, you're going to be going from making like nothing in college to multi-million dollars. This is what you should invest in. This is what you keep your eye on. You want to take care of your family? Make sure you have this, and this.
Ricky, I don't know how.
It pisses me off.
I don't know how people could spend so much money on stuff, man. I can't even think of how I want to spend $1 million if I had $1 million. How
27?
Much money.
It's ridiculous. And you see their houses and you see their cars and you see the things they go to and then the big dinners they go, stupid crap, clubs they go to and stuff like that. And it's like, why? I don't
understand.
If you're going to do that, fine, do it. Make sure you invest the rest of your money a different way. If you're making 27 mil, $5 mil a year or whatever, put $1 mil aside. Don't touch it. It will add up,
And that's where speaking about stuff like that just reminds me of Kyrie Irving right now.
Yeah, no, we'll get into Kyrie in a little bit. George, welcome. George was working very hard today doing his job, and he just got back. So shout out to George. You missed our first Ricky's rant. I'm on my second now. My first rant was Mike Milbury of the NHL getting fired after 14 years for using a sexist slur on air, saying because there was no women in the NHL bubble, the players were not distracted. So total sexual inference. And then I blew up on that. And then I just got done. We're talking about right now, San Jose Sharks, Evander Kane, multi-time All-Star, been to the playoffs many times, just filed for bankruptcy, $27 million in debt. Well, I'm going to come to you real quick, George, for this, and then we'll move on.
All right.
Pros going into bankruptcy. We got to talk about Delonte West and a couple other people. If they have help, that's one thing. But I was telling Gilbert before you got on, I think they should have a transition class when they go from college to pro, like maybe a couple sessions or whatnot. Hey, you're now this age. This is how much money you're going to make. You're going from making nothing to making multi-millions invest in this, keep your eyes open for this, be careful for this. Do you think they should do something like that to stop these situations?
I think so because then that kind of solidifies like their skill set at the end of the day because it's like if you jump from like nothing to something like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't work as well depending on like what profession it is like what the situation is so I think with what you said like yes I think they should hold a class just so like they know what they're getting themselves into and see what the high expectations are
Uh-huh.
going into that field.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you see the stories, like the behind the scenes stories when they're older and stuff, and they're trying to teach other players, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
they didn't know. But 27 mil in debt. Come on, bro. You're one of the biggest names in all of the NHL and you're bankrupt. Like, that's just not right. I'm gonna stop my rant there because we're running. We didn't we got a lot of NHL. Former Anaheim Duck, Corey Perry signed with the Montreal Canadiens. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think me and George did. That Corey Perry went to the Montreal Canadiens. He's Canadian. He was super excited. They just waived him. They waived
What?
him this week. Yeah, he didn't even play one game. They waived Corey Perry, which means he's a free agent. Should the Ducks jump on that? Should the Kings jump on that? Like,
That's
They
a
just
weird situation.
yeah,
definitely
yeah. But Corey Perry's awesome. I've seen him personally, and we Ducks could probably use a veteran like that right now. I'm just saying, and we'll get into those opening week games. Those were embarrassing. In just a minute. Speaking of big names coming back to their teams, their former teams, Arizona Coyotes had this guy named Shane Doan for a long time. He was their captain every year, multiple time All-Star, awesome player. He's actually returning to the Coyotes to work in the front office. I like this. Derek Jeter's doing it, a couple other people do it. I like when you have people coming from the system, that know how to do those things. Yes, Jeter's not in the Yankees system, but he's followed the business aspect as he's gone along, and now he's the owner of the Miami Marlins, brought in the first woman GM. He knows what he's
nice,
doing.
Hmm.
So maybe Shane Doan will do the same thing for the Coyotes. Who knows?
nice. Sean Marks is actually doing the same with the Nets right now. So I mean,
Okay. See, there you go.
I love when players made that transition.
What do you think about that, George?
I think that's good, but then I also think it's kind of bad because like if you really think about it, like I could give you like two examples. Like number
Go ahead.
one,
Go ahead.
when like Byron Scott was that former Laker, right? So like then eventually he came back to coach the Lakers, but the thing is, he wasn't a good coach, but yeah, he was a great
Mm-hmm.
player. So that's number one. Number two is Luke Walton. Like yes, Luke Walton, like they had like some wins here and there. Like he was coaching like the young kids and everything, but at the same time they weren't winning. And you expect that from like a young team like that, those young Lakers, like the Brandon Ingrams, like the Lonzo Balls, Josh Hart, the
Yeah.
veterans like Nick Young. I mean, but yeah, like that's why I meant when it said it could go like a different way. Like just because you're coming from a system and then you go back to a system, like yes, it could be good, but it could also be the other way because like it doesn't necessarily mean you fit that system. It's just that it's a
Mm-hmm.
matter of like what personnel because like sometimes like the team goes into like a totally different direction, and
Mm-hmm.
then like when you come back from it, it doesn't really like fit along the lines of what you want to do, or it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
fit what they want to do. So
That's a
that's
good
what I
point.
mean when it says good. It could be good or it could be
Mm.
bad.
Well, coming to you from somebody who's been in a leadership role at multiple jobs that I've had, you start off in the regular position, not, I was a game attendant, then I became a breaker, and then I became a shift leader. You're a shift leader, you could still be friends, but you got to be the boss, And at Angel
Mm-hmm.
Stadium, it's the same thing for me. I got a staff of like 18 under me,
Mm-hmm.
and if they're not running correctly, I got to get on them so that our guests
Mm-hmm.
aren't getting hurt, But on the flip side, I got to back them up when guests are harassing them or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make sure they get all their breaks. And if they're not, I got
Right.
to make sure I jump in. I still want to be real and remember where I came from, but you still got to be that leader. So I totally get what you're saying, George. And I think that's awesome the way you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of leaders, Corey Crawford, again, lots of multi-time All-Stars in the NHL in these stories. Multi-time All-Star Corey Crawford, goalie, Chicago Blackhawks, is hanging up his skates after 10 seasons. 10 seasons in the NHL sounds kind of tiring to me, if you ask me.
Uh-huh.
So Yeah.
Let's see. It
Yeah.
really seems like an NHL longer though, but
Yeah. Depends. Okay, so here's a cool story. Check this, especially with it being Black History Month right now. The Boston Bruins are set to retire the jersey of the very first NHL black player, Willie O'Ree. Number 22 will be retired on February 18th. That's pretty awesome.
nice.
That's pretty
Nice.
awesome. So shout out to him. I heard he's one of the nice guys of the NHL.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly.
It is
The only
perfect
way it would have been
timing.
better if it was
I
in
was just
January.
about to say that.
Yeah. So shout out to, I know, I hope they give him a super cool ceremony. So they're respecting Willie O'Ree. Want to give a little bit of respect. NHL. We did this for college football. Way too early picks. Well, they got the same thing for NHL. Season just started this week. You know, so early picks. They got the East. They got the Philadelphia Flyers winning. North, which is Canada division. They got the Toronto Maple Leafs winning. Central, they got the Lightning repeating. And in the West, they got the Colorado Avalanche. As for a Stanley Cup winner, you'd think they would pick the Lightning because the Lightning have been on fire and they won last year. No, the Colorado Avalanche have been selected to win the Stanley Cup this year. So we'll see. As for our Ducks and Kings, well, well. That's all I'm gonna say. They have a very low. We'll leave it at that. This week was not good for the Ducks and the Kings. All right. Ducks. Let me see. We both fell to our opponents pretty bad. Ducks played the Golden Knights, and the Golden Knights are always hard. We lost, I think it was 5-2, 4-2, something like that. We were aggressive in the first period, and then after that, just Knights just ran away with it.
It seems like ever since the Golden Knights came into the league, they just been one of those top teams.
We talked about this before we had this show. The Golden Knights, man, they had a kick-ass expansion draft. They knew what they were doing. They knew who you were picking up. You don't have to have a bunch of superstars. They had 2, maybe 3 superstars, and the rest were all just, hey, this guy will work good with this guy. This guy will work good with this guy. And it worked out.
They made it work.
Exactly. So they smoked the Ducks. Kings went to overtime, but they lost to the Minnesota Wild in overtime. So not a good start for Southern California hockey. So we'll see what happens on Monday. I think the Ducks have a game tomorrow, but the Ducks have a home game. Our first home game is on Monday. Kings were home yesterday against the Minnesota Wild.
Too bad we can't games now. But
I know, soon. Yeah, I actually Phil Hewlett, it's his birthday today. Shout out to Anaheim Ducks PA announcer Phil Hewlett. It's his birthday today. They showed him his new area. They because they won't let him be on the ice anymore. So he got moved back to all the way to 222. And they have, it's called Phil's Box, and he showed a picture. It's on his Instagram at Phil Hewlett. It's pretty cool. Just check it out. All right, let's get some NBA, guys. Speaking of wild, Minnesota Wild week, insane, absolutely crazy. Again, you're listening to All Sports Media Team presents Triple B 2.0 episode 8. You want it, come and get it with Double R Ricky Rodriguez, my boy Gilbert A plus Asensio, and Big G George Ochoa. NBA was bonkers, and there's still stuff going on today as I speak. So let's just start from the beginning of the week and work our way down, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
All right.
Have you got any other big stories? Just throw them out. I started with, this has honestly, from what I've noticed in the COVID era, this is by far the worst COVID week in NBA history. I think they canceled at least 5 games, if I'm not mistaken, give or take, probably.
Yeah,
something like that.
Just about right.
Especially in Texas, it's nuts right now. Like Dallas, the Stars aren't able to play till January 22nd in hockey, and same thing for the Mavericks. They weren't able to play New Orleans for their opening game. So COVID's. I want to talk about it with you guys in a minute. COVID's just like you said, Gilbert. It's just running rampant. It's screwing things over, and one guy that knows this way too well, and I try not to get emotional, is Karl Anthony Towns. Cat.
Poor Cat
has COVID.
For him to just get out of the situation that he got out of, and then for him to be in the shoes of it now, it's sad. It's sad, and especially to see him go through that
Yeah. Well, you got to think
He's just
about it.
having a bad year altogether. Like he hurt his hand. Yeah, like you said, he had COVID, and several of his family members died
Including
because
his mother.
of that, including his long-lived mom. I feel so sorry for him. Prayers go out to him and his family.
I was reading the ESPN article today on Instagram, and Kat was telling his little was it his nephews or his cousins? I don't know. And he said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna beat this. I'm not gonna be laying in a box next to grandma." And I was like, "Damn, dude!" Reading that as a father, I was just like, that tore me up, dude.
Yeah.
So prayers out to Kat, man, or anybody who's fighting this virus. Prayers out to you guys. I mean, it's real, you guys. Don't not take this seriously. It's real.
It is real, and
the
thing that makes me mad is players like Kyrie Irving.
Oh, we're gonna get into that in a second.
Ooh,
well, but Ricky's rant number 3.
Go ahead, Ricky. Let
Not
it
yet.
out.
Well, I'm almost there. I've done 2 already. We got number 3 coming.
Too bad I wasn't here to hear the first.
I kind of backtracked for you on the hockey. It was hockey.
Okay, cool.
But before we get into Kyrie, the situation, who did I talk to about this? I talked to my roommate about this. He loves basketball too. He's actually a Suns fan.
Nice.
He loves I almost said Kevin Nash. I'm done. I'm leaving. Steve Nash. I'm so tired. Okay. One of the games, the Dallas game, got canceled because they didn't have enough players. You only have to have 8 players to play a freaking game. They didn't even have 8 players. Adam Silver, right? Yes. Adam Silver is the biggest badass in all of commissioners, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to step up
100%.
and needs to do something now. This is ridiculous that we've had this many games canceled in 1 week. But when he was in the bubble, what, 1, maybe 2 people contracted? I'm just saying.
No players, though. None of the players contracted.
None of the players had positive testing.
My point exactly. He could shorten the season, even shorter than it is. And I mean, I get it's something no one's ever dealt with. I say this with the schools. I say this with sports. We don't know what to do. We just don't know what to do. And if you're an authority figure, it's even worse.
I think the best thing you can do is just move half of the teams to one bubble and move the other half to another bubble.
I guess.
And just have them go back and forward.
It's ridiculous.
But it's just not that easy to move people in the bubble because look how long it took for Adam Silver to come up with something.
Yeah.
Like it took him nearly 3 months for them to come up with something on how to finish up the season. But however, there was only 22 out of the 30 teams that went inside the bubble. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and now you're dealing with all 30 teams actually playing.
And they changed a lot of the rulings.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rules you got to follow for on the road. Like you can't leave the hotel room. You can't. And that's when we heard who was it? G Hill.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm a grown ass man. I'm going to do whatever I want." And I love G Hill, but he's another one that's going to make it worse. And we don't want to get political. We announced this earlier. We don't want to get political. We're not trying to get political. We're just saying we want to watch sports again. We want people to be safe. And there's no median right now. There's just not a median, and I don't know what to do. And we can't be like Canada and keep all of our teams in one area. We just can't do it.
And it's hard because these players have families.
Exactly.
They want to be with their kids as well, just like we want to be with our kids and watch sports. But at the same time, we got to understand these players have their own families, and they don't want to be stuck in a bubble most of the time and not be able to be with them.
Yeah. I kind of agree with George Hill to some degree because one of the things that he said was because remember players can't shake hands and everything, they can't talk after the game and stuff, which I thought it was BS because they're talking to the players in the first place and they're actually playing on the same court. So it's what's the point of making that rule saying you can't shake someone's hands or you can't talk? You might as well not play the game at all, if that's the case, because it's you're on the court, but then you can't talk to anybody. To me, that did not make any sense whatsoever. That didn't make any sense at all.
There's a lot of things that aren't making sense.
I agree with him on that regard.
There's a lot of things not making sense. I agree.
It's crazy,
But
I think we should move on.
Go ahead. No, we are going to move on.
That's all I got to say about that.
We are going to move on. I think we all ranted on that one. Okay, Kyrie. Time for rant number 3. All right. Ricky's rant number 3. No. Kyrie Irving is one of the best basketball players in the NBA. Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
But he's being an idiot. Period. The end.
Mm-hmm.
He's being a snotty nosed brat. That's how he's acting, if you ask me. As a sports fan, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, so he missed the last 4 games, said he just didn't want to play. I knew there was more behind it, and there was. He went to a family party. He got in trouble for going to this family party. It could have been a get together. It could have been a party. We don't know. But the fact that he went against the protocol, he knew he was going against the protocol when he went to do it. Still did it and tried to hide it. Makes it even worse.
No
and
hiding.
He's a freaking captain. That's what pisses me off the most. You are an example. This is before Harden was there, which we're going to get into. Spoiler. He's a freaking captain. You need to be an example for your freaking team. I don't care how young you are. You know, look at Kyler Murray with the freaking Cardinals. He only has 1 star on his captain jersey, but he's an amazing captain. Then you look at some idiot like Dwayne Haskins, who was a 1-year captain, and he totally screwed up. You know, I think Kyrie's kind of in the middle right now. Like
I can't think of a player that I dislike the most right now besides him. And the reason why is just because the way he carries himself. If I was his teammate, I wouldn't want to be around him just because, just knowing what he did and not wanting to play because of the decisions he decided to do. I don't want to be around him as a player.
Well, like, to me, I don't think Kyrie's a captain at all, because like, how are you going to call yourself the captain but not tell like any of your bosses, your teammates, letting you know like, hey, like, I'm going to be away from the game for like the next few games.
But
because
why?
like then like yeah, exactly.
That's what pissed me off, because it's why he was away from the games.
But
he
then,
knew
like,
what he was doing.
it will still be bad to some degree, but at least the coaches, the players will be respectable by it only because they told him. But the fact that he didn't tell anybody, like, it just gives it a bad reputation that he's trying to put with this Nets team. And knowing this Nets is arguably, like, right now, one of the best teams, if not the best, in the
which we're going to get into in a minute.
So, like, I don't get why he has to, like, pull this foolishness, because, like, knowing, like, bro, you're one of the best point guards in the league, and people see you on the street, they're going to come right after you. TMZ's, like, there's a thing called TMZ, bro.
Yeah, well, besides
so they
KD,
get a hold of it,
bro,
they'll put it all over ESPN and all these media outlets.
Bro, besides KD, he was the face of Brooklyn.
He was, but then he was I just don't see him as a great leader. He's a great player, but not a great leader.
And it was the same thing in Cleveland.
This is why I'm not on the bandwagon with the Nets, because they're in the same dilemma the Clippers are, you know. And don't get me started on the Nets right now, because
Go ahead. We'll think of a segment for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, let them know.
G'd up with Gilbert. Go ahead. Get G'd up, Gilbert. Go.
I think Kyrie and Harden together.
Spoiler! Damn you! I'm just kidding. Everybody knows.
They're gonna have chemistry problems, bro. I can't see them. I can't see everything working out perfectly, bro. It's I don't see it happening. They look good on paper. They do good. They do look good on paper. I'm not gonna lie, they do. But when it comes down to the court, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna have the same problems the Clippers did.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the playoffs and the games get serious and it comes down to clutch, I don't think it's gonna go down, bro.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Let's go ahead and move on. Actually, I do want to say one more thing about Kyrie. He's returning Saturday, so we'll see what happens with that. He was fine, like we said. Adam Silver's a badass. He does not mess around. $50,000 fine, 3 days extra quarantine, and with the 4 games that he lost on top of the 3 days that he's gonna lose, Kyrie is set to lose over $815,000.
That's a
for
lot
what?
Of money.
A kid's party?
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
I mean, he deserved that only because, yes, like you said, he didn't follow protocols. And then not even that, I'll take it a step further. Like, he didn't even tell his bosses, he didn't even tell Steve Nash, the coaching staff, that he's gonna be away from the game. If you're gonna be away from the game, just tell them. You know, they'll respect they'll respect your wishes. Like it's like you going to work. Like you can't just like not go to work and not tell your boss about it because like then like look what happened. You got fined. You paid the price, and you got to live with the consequences. Because if you're man enough to like do what you did, then you're man enough to live with whatever consequences they give you.
Absolutely.
And what he did was just completely wrong, and I did not. I do not like what he did.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Gilbert, real quick.
Well, I just want to throw this out there. I think the Adam Silver should do something serious about Kyrie Irving. I don't know about the fines. I mean,
$816,000.
Can't do it right now.
Pretty serious to me.
I mean, like, what can you do, Kyrie Irving? It's like.
Well, now it's in Nash's hand.
It's like
bench him if you want.
You can't change him. That's all you can do. You can't change him.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's go from a young guy who's screwing up royally to a young guy that's absolutely kicking ass. And if he tried to pull this crap, his daddy would beat the crap out of him. Talking about Lamello Ball. Lamello Ball becomes the youngest player to get a triple-double at 19 years old. That's your boy, Gilbert. Talk to me.
Ricky, didn't I tell you this guy was going to be a superstar? And he's heading that way right now. He's heading that way. He's not carrying this team. He's putting this team together. If you watch the games, he puts this team together. He has great chemistry with the players already. It seems like they've been playing forever. And this guy, he's gonna be something special. And I'm glad the Hornets have him. I really am.
Go ahead.
And then like not only that, to add to that, like he's just playing with swag. You know, he's playing with swag. It's like him playing like high school ball all over again because that's how good he is. And like he's coming from a winning culture, so his boys are used to winning. But you know what I like about Lamello Ball is like he's not scared. Like he's gonna show more aggression than Lonzo did. Like
I was just gonna get into that.
I'm so disappointed in Lonzo Ball right now. Like I don't know why. Like it looks like he's just lost.
We're playing him right now, actually.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, is Lonzo Ball playing?
I haven't turned the game on yet, so I don't know.
I mean,
I gotta give. Yeah, I don't know, George. Someone knows to check. I gotta give you a shout out on that, George, because I was literally gonna say that. I think out of the three of them, Lamello Ball has his head on, the tightest. Like he knows the game. But he doesn't like you said, he takes control, but he knows his place. And with the veterans and stuff, you could see him talking to them. You could see him picking their brain and then carrying it out on the court, and then
that's good for him because like he did play overseas. So that's where that maturity came from because like he's not like other guys where it's like you're playing with like people like your age, like people on your AAU squad. Like he didn't even play AAU. He just played ball overseas, and that's what helped him develop to him becoming like a great NBA rookie superstar.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that time was perfect. Kawhi Leonard. We're talking Clippers a little bit. We talked about him getting elbowed in the face last week and busting him open, and he had to wear the mask, that funky looking mask that he had. Well, this week he shredded it. This week he got rid of it, and he scored 35 points. So maybe that mask, remember we asked, is that mask a distraction? Maybe it was. He shredded the mask. He scored almost 40. So what do you think, George?
Go ahead, George.
I think like with the mask, like he was kind of like uncomfortable, but then like I guess like after like the third or fourth time wearing that mask, he kind of got used to it. But then like I guess like throughout like the games that he's playing with the mask, like he strapped it because like I guess like he wasn't like having it anymore. He was like, you know what, like let me strap this mask. Like I have confidence I won't get hit like that again. It's like the chances are for him getting hit again, like his caliber is probably like, I don't know, like 1 in a million or something like that. But I don't know, like knock on wood, I hope he doesn't get hit again like that. But like the thing is, Kawhi Leonard, he's a great player, but
local boy.
Like exactly, but I just want to see how great they are in the playoffs because like during the season, during the season, like they could have a great season, but then like the playoffs, that's where they struggle, and that's like the whole choking era that Clippers are going through right now.
Absolutely, I agree. Gilbert, did you have something or? You're good.
I mean, I just wanted to say, the mask didn't seem to bother Richard Hamilton.
Rip
So I mean,
Hamilton was something else, though.
He became
What?
the mask man.
He was the mask man. He was the mask.
well, I didn't like him in 04 though.
Yeah, we're not going
Hey,
there.
let's not.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
we
not
ain't
going there.
there.
We're gonna jump into something bigger, something as
And
big.
Perron's not even
All right,
here, so that's good.
as big as all these headlines are. We all know what the biggest headline was. 4-team, technically 5. People forget about this other team. 5-team deal that got James Harden
Oh,
out
man.
of Houston. All right, I got your
Mhm.
details, and then I'm gonna come to you guys.
Okay.
All right, your 5 teams involved. Obviously, the Brooklyn Nets, the
Mhm.
Cleveland Cavaliers, the Indiana Pacers, Houston Rockets, and even the Milwaukee Bucks were in this deal. A lot of people don't know that. All right, here's your details. If I get this fly out of my face, sorry. The Brooklyn Nets get James Harden and a second-round pick via Cleveland. The
Mhm.
Cavaliers get Jared Allen and Teron Prince. A strong young
Torian
team right
Prince.
there. Strong young team. Indiana Pacers get a second-round pick, Karis LeVert from the Rockets via the Brooklyn Nets. And then the Rockets get Victor Oladipo via the Indiana Pacers. Dante Exum and Radonis Karukas, I believe his name is. And
Mhm.
the Rockets got a lot. 4 first-round picks via Brooklyn and Milwaukee, and 4 first-round picks were swapped via Brooklyn. That's a lot of numbers, yo. Talk to me, George.
I think like with all these deals that happen, like I think it worked for everybody, like especially for the Rockets. The Rockets got like some capital in return to replace James Harden. Oladipo is going to become a great player along with John Wall, like his running mate in the backcourt. And I think they got Dante Exum. You said like on the Rockets.
Dante
Yeah.
Exum, yeah, he's Rockets.
Okay, yeah, and then Dante Exum because like the Rockets they're an okay team. They're a pretty good team. They'll probably be like somewhere like sixth or fifth seed at best
Uh-huh.
because of who they picked up and everything. And John Wall he could still play at a high level. He just needs to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcus Cousins, he'll DeMarcus Cousins, he's not like the DeMarcus Cousins that we saw in Sacramento. So I mean, like I believe like he'll become like your tough guy in the locker room and everything. So like he's like your tough guy that you could go to. And then like the Pacers, they got a great player in Karis LeVert.
Yeah, which is
Karis
funny because
LeVert.
he wasn't originally going there.
Yeah,
He went
wasn't
from
like
Brooklyn to Houston, and then Houston traded him to Indiana for Oladipo.
yeah, and that's cool. And then yeah, I think like overall with all these deals I saw, like I wish saw them on paper just so I could analyze it a little bit better. But anyways, like I think it actually worked for the better with Houston. And then James Harden got what he wanted. He wanted it out of Houston because like he felt that his team wasn't good enough. I
Well,
mean, yeah, which is true. But like the thing was, like the way he went about the situation was kind of like the wrong way. Like
yeah,
you heard what DeMarcus Cousins said like during his press conference.
disrespect.
He was disrespectful because like he didn't show up on time. He didn't show up during training camp like he's supposed to.
Again,
And
that's
yet
kind of
he's
like we're
like,
talking about Kyrie. It's the same thing. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of like the same thing going hand in hand. But like Kyrie's is just
and now they're
worse.
together.
Yes.
God help
So
us.
yeah, like I have to agree with what GA said. Like I don't know if this is gonna work out because you pretty much have two guys that need the ball. Like KD, he doesn't really need the ball that much because like he could catch and shoot because like he
Yeah,
did play for that Golden State Warriors team
yeah,
where they're just sharing the ball and they don't even care like who will take the last shot and everything.
absolutely.
So that's good.
I'll
But
let you
then
brought
like
up. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
yeah, so like then like with that, like yeah, like I don't know if it's gonna work. I hope maybe it does, but like yeah, like GA, they're pretty good on paper, but let's see how good they really are when it comes to like the high certain situations where 5 minutes remaining, the game is tight. Let's see how they react during playoff time, and that's
Absolutely.
all. Yeah, and this is going to be really interesting on how Brooklyn and how Steve Nash can handle this situation because Steve
Absolutely.
Nash
Steve
is
a young coach.
yeah.
I want to hear.
Nash
We got a couple
is a
minutes. Yeah, go. We
yeah. So
got a couple
let me
minutes
let me
left.
finish this one little point. My
All right.
bad. And Steve Nash, Like, this is his first go around as an NBA head coach, and he has all these players that he needs to manage. So it's going to be really interesting on how he manages this whole situation.
It's been done in other sports. We'll see. GA, you got about 5 minutes to do your spot. How do you feel about these deals? And like, who do you think got the strongest? Who got the weakest? And the Eastern Division looks pretty strong now.
All right. Well, my opinion, I believe. Houston was obviously going to get those picks. I mean, when you trade away a player like that, you're gonna obviously get as much as you can in return. So I expected that coming. I want to say the winners in this trade is definitely Cleveland and Indiana, definitely, because not only did they take away a young player in Chris LeVert, but Cleveland also got Jared Allen. I mean, not Jared Allen.
Toronto.
Allen. So those are two young players right there.
No, I think they did get Jared Allen.
They got Cleveland got Jared Allen and Toronto Prince.
Yeah, there you go.
And not only that, I believe they also got picks in that trade, right?
So possibly. The details I got, it wasn't on there.
No, okay.
Straight off the NBA Instagram. So
they still picked up young players, but for me, what's it called? Just got off topic right now. But yes, I believe they did win the trade, and the Nets, man. I think the problem is the chemistry. I just want to see how it's all gonna play out. I really do. I just want to see how it's gonna play out. Steve Nash, young coach, not a young coach, but
first year.
It's his first year. But the thing that I like is he has Mike D'Antoni backing him up.
Yeah, and
he's obviously a former coach himself. But the thing is, he doesn't do defense. They don't do defense, so it's gonna be interesting how everything plays out.
I agree.
And that's why the Celtics were so good at, during their first go around with Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett, because those are the type of guys that's playing defense. And mind you, they were like top 5 on defensive efficiency that year in 2008 when they were that good, because like they preach defense. And then like another thing is like they filled up their roles pretty like, naturally, because Ray Allen, he could catch and shoot. Paul Pierce, he could like shoot off the elbow. Kevin Garnett, like he could score down low, and he could be your anchor on defense. Like, and then like if you have a big three like that, somebody has to sacrifice on like what they need to do. They're gonna have to have like a different role. Like you see, like down in Miami when B Wade and LeBron James and Chris Bosh got together. Chris Bosh has to sacrifice. And then D Wade also had to sacrifice being like that second fiddle and having LeBron James be that alpha male, that vocal point on them like moving forward to as in results of them winning 2 championships together out of the 4 years that they were in Miami. So like Brooklyn, like James Harden's gonna have to sacrifice, and I think Kyrie's gonna have to sacrifice. And and then Kevin Garnett has to be that top dog that tries to like hold the team together. And I think that's what should happen. I don't know if it will, but I think I think if they do that, I think the Brooklyn Nets will find themselves in Eastern Conference contention.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Like GA said, it might happen, it might not. We're gonna go ahead.
They have to make those sacrifices.
Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, we got Kyrie on the same team as James Harden, so we'll see where that goes, and we'll keep you guys posted. We got to keep moving. We got 30 minutes to get 3 sports done.
Okay.
So let's jump into the MMA a little bit. January 23rd, UFC 257, the big return of Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Conor comes out on Insta and obviously through UFC and says, I'm going to knock out Dustin Poirier in 60 seconds. Gilbert, does it happen?
Typical Conor McGregor. We'll see, man.
I like that answer.
McGregor, I don't know. He can make it happen. But we'll see. I don't know.
You think he's going to deliver, George?
I mean, he did. There were those times where he backs up from what he's saying, but we all know how crazy Conor McGregor is, how crazy of a trash talker he is, and everything. But I mean, it'll be interesting going forward on what will happen. I mean, all I gotta say is, may the best player win. You know,
And remember what we said last time. Khabib came out, the BMF champion, came out and said he wants the winner of McGregor Poirier. And if it's McGregor, more than likely he's gonna go after McGregor. And McGregor's already talking spit about Khabib, saying Khabib's scared and he's backtracking. And I'm like, Khabib's one that called you out, bro. Like, where were you? You know?
I
So
want to see that.
exactly. So don't call anybody out, and unless you're gonna be mad enough to be called out. Like,
absolutely.
come on.
Absolutely.
I think whoever wins is still gonna happen between McGregor and Khabib.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be.
But
crazy.
that's how
That
like
match
fights
has to
get
happen.
good, though. That's how fights get good.
People
like
want
people
that match.
talk trash, and you know, you just wanted to see what happens.
But people
they
want
could
that.
back it up.
People want that fight.
Mhm.
Let's get real for a minute. Okay, we talked about, I think 2 weeks in a row we've talked about this. The guy who tried, the MMA fighter who tried to kill his sisters via stabbing them. We were found out that he was actually in a bad mental state when he did what he did. He did not kill them. They both lived, and they lived to tell the story. And they said that when he was around them, that those last couple days, that he just wasn't himself. Something was off. And I think whoever I was with, I think was talking with Coach last week, and we compared it to this week. I talked to you guys about it, and we compared it to the Chris Benoit death. You know, not to the extreme. You know, well, I guess technically because Benoit killed his wife and his son, and then killed himself.
Right.
You know, this guy tried to kill his sisters, and who knows what he would have did to himself after that. They found out, this is totally off the subject, but you're a wrestling fan, Gilbert. You know the story about the death of Benoit. They found out that Benoit, at the time of his death, had the brain level of an 85-year-old man, and he was like in his late 40s, he was in his 40s, something like that. So all the blows to the head, stuff like that. So my question to you guys is, do you think Erwin Rivera was in a situation like this? What do you think, Gilbert?
Oh, most definitely, man. When when I think about wrestling or MMA, man, you also gotta think about these wrestlers because they're really taking these blows and it's affecting their health. And you might not see it, but you'll see it down the line. And this is this is an example right now. And I feel like these the owners of these leagues need to take a more look into this situation because we had examples of fighters going through this before. So something has to be dealt with to help these fighters deal with this issue, man, because it's killing them inside, bro. It is.
Absolutely. And you just can't see it. And they need to do more concussion protocol and stuff like that. George, you have anything you want to say regarding this?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what GA said. You know, they have to really do something to combat this situation because like what they're going through right now is just not mentally healthy. So like I think if they could take care of this, like hopefully things could like just move smoothly from there.
We'll see. Well, NFL's been doing it. Hopefully MMA and AEW, WWE, places like that will go. All right. So we just lost GA. He hasn't been feeling well, so we're gonna let him go ahead and go. So me and George, me and GA started, me and George are gonna end it. All right. So we talked earlier about the hockey announcer who got let go after 14 years for making a sexist remark. Well, this guy, okay, got it. Pat Miletich, a Hall of Fame color coordinator for UFC, and also he was in Legacy Fight Alliance. He just got let go for being in attendance at the Capitol riot. Worth it? Not worth it? You know, from all right, neutral standpoint as an analyst, neutral standpoint. Was it worth it for him to go make all his points and now he lost his job? I don't think so.
I don't think it was worth it at all because because like if you're like an announcer like for like a highly sports organization and then you do something this foolish, man, like they're gonna catch it. I mean, like, you know, just like the Kyrie Irving situation when he went to a party without no mask, like what do you think is gonna happen? Like if they find like you're a part of the riot. Like they'll think like
Yeah.
you're the one of the people that's trying to like, kill like like the people in the Supreme Court, like doing like all these protests and everything that didn't really work. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And another thing you learn when you go to radio and television school, when I went to radio and television school, and also working under people like Phil Hewlett and talking to people like Michael Araujo, the voice of the Angels, and then Phil Hewlett, the voice of the Ducks, I've learned you're a brand. When you join the entertainment industry, you are a brand. So if you and I were to go out to a club right now, go get messed up and do something stupid, we're representing All Sports Media Team. You know, like, hey, I remember seeing him on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. If they do that, why do we want to follow them? You know what I mean? Like, you need to brand yourself in a good way. And this guy did not. And
you got to stay professional on like certain things like that. You can't just you're not like just a regular human being like everybody else, going to clubs, getting drunk, like having a good time and everything. Like you just, like you said, you got to represent your brand. And if you do that, then that's just not a good look of your brand and the organization that you're in.
Absolutely. And there's different ways to vent. You don't have to go out and do something like that. Another big fight. This one's actually tomorrow night, Saturday. Would be at 3. Actually, I don't think it's in the night. I think it's in the afternoon. At least the prelims are 3 p.m. Eastern time. The Max Holloway fight against Calvin. I think it's Calvin Qatar. I believe it is. That's gonna be on ABC. So no pay-per-view, nothing like that. So definitely, if you're not in the middle of the football games, jump in on that.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Most definitely.
Definitely gonna be a good fight. I want to see it. And ESPN took a poll, George. ESPN just took a poll of the top 5 fights that they want to see in 2021. So think of all the MMA, Bellator names in your head right now. These are the ones they came up with. Valentina Shlevenko, big name right now, taking on the Leona Amanda Nunes. That would be pretty dope. Colby Covington would take on Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal is redunculous. That's all I'm going to say. I still remember that knee that he took out Ben Askren. Bam, took him out. Francis Ngannou is a walking house, and they want him to take on John Bones Jones, who also needs a new nickname because he's not Bones anymore. Khabib against returning George St. Pierre is another one that people want to see. And the number one, we actually talked about this last week, Israel Adesanya wanting to move up weight classes. Number one fight that people want to see this year, John Bones Jones against Israel Adesanya. I would love to see that fight.
Those are pretty good fights. Those, like, you can't go wrong with any of those fights. Like, I think it'll be highly entertaining, and I think ESPN did a good job of trying to put out the good fights on display, just so the media will, like, the media is going to be hyped up anyway. But like, I think with all this, is like, what do you expect? What other fights would you expect for that to happen?
No, I totally agree 1,000%. Like I said, those are some huge names out there, and you want to talk big names. We got about 20 minutes or so to get football and baseball. Let's jump into baseball. Baseball had some huge things go down this week. We talked about Francisco Lindor leaving Cleveland. Him and Carlos Carrasco got traded to the Mets. They had their presser this week, which is just a press conference they did via Zoom. Lindor says he's open for an extension. So knowing that Francisco Lindor is as good as he is, what kind of extension would you give him? 6 years, 5 years? What do you think is a good amount? New York Mets, you have the money.
I think maybe 5 years. 5 years at most.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, is he in his prime of his career?
He's pretty young, yeah. He's pretty young. He's been in the World Series. He's an all-star. He's a switch hitting shortstop, power hitting shortstop. So definitely.
I'll give him 5 years for all that. Like, if he has all those accolades, of course. Yeah, you have to give him at least 5 years.
And you're in New York. You need that big.
And you're in New York, like the biggest market out there.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because the Yankees went crazy today too. All right, so these two names that I'm about to say are humongous. All right, the Yankees, we talked about for the last 4 weeks, me, Coach, you, Gilbert, about DJ LeMahieu. Dodgers were talking to him. A couple other teams were talking to him. Yankees got him. 6 years, $90 million to return to New York.
6 years, $90
million. And he's a double Silver Slugger champion, which just means he had the best average in both leagues. He's done it in the National League with the Rockies, and he's done the American League with the Yankees.
Wow.
So the guy is a beast. Also a returning former Cy Young Award winner, Corey Kluber. You probably heard that name before. Corey Kluber also just signed with the Yankees. 1 year, I think it was 10 mil, I believe it was. He just signed with the Yankees as well. So Yankees jumping on the train as well. So they always are.
They're trying to chase after Dodgers after them being the reigning champion.
Yes, sir.
The World Series.
Here's some other big names that signed. Liam Hendricks, who was a big name closer that was out there. Angels even talked to him. He signed with the White Sox. The White Sox are going to be good in the next couple of years, man. I'm telling you. 3 years, 54 mil. Kyle Schwarber, who hit a home run on the roof, I believe it was in 2016 in the World Series at Wrigley. He signed a 1 year, $10 million deal with the Nationals. Archie Bradley, former Diamondbacks pitcher, signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. Kurt Suzuki's coming home. Kurt Suzuki used to play at Cal State Fullerton. He's going to be the Angels' new catcher.
That's good.
1 year.
Orange County boy.
Yeah, so that'll be kind of cool to have him. That's a former Angels. Also, arbitration hearings were this week. So the Angels, from the names I've heard so far, there's been probably more. Dylan Bundy's coming back. Andrew
Isn't Cody Bellinger coming back too? Or
I'm getting to that. To that. Do the Angels first. And Shohei Ohtani, they're still working on. Like, they still have not come to an agreement. So we'll see what happens with that. Dodgers, yes. They just re-signed Bellinger as well. I think it was like in 13. I think it was like 16 mil, something like that. 1 year, 16 mil, something like that. But he's worth every penny, and he's going to get a mega deal.
And he was the MVP, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he's going to get a mega deal in the next couple of years, no problem. Former Dodgers are leaving. Pedro Baez. Oh, God, what team is he on this year? I don't even remember. Pedro Baez and Alex Wood. Alex Wood, I thought, was one of the most underrated pitchers when he was with the Dodgers. He's a left-handed specialist pitcher, starter. He was with Atlanta this last year, I believe it was. And he's also been with Cincinnati. Baez is going to the hated Astros. And Alex Wood, a former
Dodger the cheating organization? Yeah. I'm going to call him the cheater organization.
There you go. Alex Wood, a former Dodger, is going to the Giants. So we'll see what happens when he comes home. When he comes to play the Dodgers. If
them Giants fans really make me sick. Man.
You're one of those Dodger fans that are not too happy about this. I think that's hilarious. You know what else?
I'm not. What?
You know what else might piss off some Dodger fans? I'm not even a Dodger fan, and this made me kind of mad. Because the Australian League is cutting their season. I don't know if they're stopping it, but I know they're cutting it. They released Manny Ramirez. He was supposed to play for the Sydney Sky Sox. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They released him. Let's see what else. Okay, George, I got to ask you a question. It could be basketball, any sport. What is the highest you would ever pay for a card?
For a car? Wait, a car or card?
Card. Like a basketball card, baseball card.
Yeah.
What do you think is the highest you would ever pay for a card? Knowing you could probably sell it.
That's a very good question, Ricky.
No pressure, but you're leading into my next question.
That's a very good question. Because, like, me personally, I don't collect cards, but I guess if you ask me, man, I don't know, between like the ranges of at least $100 to, I don't know.
You're funny.
I don't know, 200. I don't really collect cards, so
don't fall out of your chair right now when I tell you.
Okay. How much?
I don't know what year it was, but Mickey Mantle card tops PS9, which the highest level you can go on a grading on a card is PS10. So this is a PS9 Mickey Mantle tops card sold for $5.2 million.
Dang. That's so dang. Bro, that's an NBA contract right there. That's a max deal.
Right.
Man, $5.1 billion?
Yeah, 5.2. I think it was sold to like an actor or something, some low-name actor.
It had to be, because like for that amount of money, it had to be something big. It had to be something significant.
Can you imagine finding like that card at like a swap meet or some old lady's house or something, and she just, this was my son's card. Just take it, $5. Then you check it, it's 5.2. You're like,
yeah, you just fall in your chair, you just choke yourself up.
Bro, I would die. Crazy. Speaking of crazy, all right, we got done talking about basketball. I believe we were with us at the beginning of basketball. Basketball, is trying to do. We like, do you go to the bubble? Do you not do a bubble? People are getting sick. Baseball, I like Rob Manfred. Don't get me wrong. He's okay. He's not amazing. He's okay.
Okay.
Rob Manfred, you're gonna laugh when I say this. Expects players, coaches, and staff to play full preseason and a full 162 game season next year. Dude. Yeah, I know, right? That's just the lawsuit waiting to happen. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, how are you going to play 162 games? And you said that they're going to have a bubble?
No bubble. We were saying the basketball, we were trying that they should bubble. But the commissioner is expecting them to play 162 game season. With pre.
That's not going to happen.
With pre, bro.
That's not going to happen.
There's no way. And I was talking to my roommate about this. I'm like, there's no way. Maybe 80 games max. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just like the NBA one. Yeah, and that's just like the NBA playing 82 games, but we're dealing with this whole pandemic.
Exactly. And baseball.
And what are the chances on everybody like getting tested negative during this pandemic? Knowing that there's like a bunch of organizations in this league.
No. Well, you saw how many the numbers jumped during baseball this year, and that was only half a season. Imagine 162.
Exactly. And then like certain places around the league have higher cases, like this here in the state of California.
Bro.
Like it's just crazy. So there's no way like all these teams are gonna play 162 games. Like it's just crazy to me because like we're dealing with this pandemic. People are dying every day. People are having positive testing, negative testing. Like things happen during this pandemic. It's been crazy that we went almost a year with this pandemic.
I can't believe
so. Like, you saying like we're gonna play 162 games, that's something you can't really guarantee because of this whole pandemic. So I don't know what. Where you get 162
bro. There's no way. It's not gonna happen. I don't normally knock stuff down. This will not happen. I can guarantee. You can quote me on this. It will not happen. It may be 60 games, it may be 80 games. There's no way you're going to get even 100. There's no way.
Exactly.
And then, okay, so we got one more baseball thing, and then we'll close out with football because we're almost on time.
Right.
Okay, check this. You might think this is cool, but then you might be like, wow, what are these people thinking?
Okay.
MLB came out with the World Series matchups for the next 10 years. And they took into mind, the young players that are on certain teams, which teams are going to get number 1 picks in the next couple years or number 2 picks or whatever, the farm systems, free agency coming up, stuff like that. Okay. So mind you, here we go. 2021, this year, they got the Dodgers taking on the Yankees with the Dodgers winning. I can see that.
Yeah, that's a fair matchup. That's a fair matchup to historic franchises.
Get ready to laugh at this one. I don't know what they're thinking on this one. Dodgers versus Angels for 2022 with the Dodgers winning, of course. I'm an Angel fan and I laugh at this. There's no way in hell our team's going to be ready by 2022.
Nah, because no disrespect, Ricky, but the Dodgers are going to beat the brakes out of the Angels.
Angels aren't even bro. We'll be lucky if we make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
And we need a left fielder.
That's what I'm saying. They'll beat the brakes out of the Angels if they ever face the Dodgers. It's just a no-brainer.
2023, bro. I would pay to go to this series now. Chicago White Sox versus San Diego Padres, with the White Sox pulling it out. That would be epic. With all the money the White Sox just spent, all the money the Padres just spent, it'd be pretty epic.
That sounds like a crazy game.
This one I was kind of iffy about. 2024, Boston Red Sox, San Diego Padres. Maybe Boston has a really kick-ass farm system. Something's coming up that we don't know about. Free agency's coming up, stuff like that. They got Padres winning that. This is another one I can see happening. 2025, they got the Toronto Blue Jays and the Atlanta Braves. Both have really young teams right now, really strong teams. Both teams were in the playoffs this year. I could see it happening in 2025, if not around that time, if not earlier. 2026, they have the Subway Series, Yankees and Mets. They have the Mets winning that World Series.
That ain't gonna happen. The Yankees own that.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's
The Mets just got those 2 big pickups, and they're still 7 years in between.
2 New York teams. That's just like watching the Knicks play against Brooklyn.
Bro, it happened in 2000. It could happen again. Okay, and then this one, I don't know where they came up with this. 2027, Baltimore Orioles and San Francisco Giants, with the Orioles coming out on top.
It might as well be the Orioles because they're gonna get creamed.
Bro, in 2027, who knows? Yeah, who knows?
The crazy things have happened during sports,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna really dispute the whole.
I was just looking at these and I'm just like, these are insane. Got 3 more. Detroit and LA Dodgers in 2028, with the Dodgers winning. 2029 Bay Area Series World Series, Oakland and Frisco. And 2030, they got the Yankees and the Cardinals, with the Yankees winning. I don't know where they come up with this crap.
Exactly. Like, a lot of things happen in a decade that that's crazy. Like, look at us being the pandemic. We never know this pandemic was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, strangest things have happened during sports.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's absolutely nuts. All right, we got 5 minutes to get through the NFL. That's not going to happen, but I'm going to try. All right, NFL, another sport. I told you, me and Gilbert said at the beginning of the show, there's so many crazy things that went down this week, and NFL is no exception. So crazy last wild card weekend last weekend. The Bills pulled by the Colts, 27-24, with their first playoff win since the Jim Kelly era in 1995. So shout out to them for that. They're going to face the Ravens. Stupid Ravens. The Rams.
Hey, Lamar Jackson's the truth, man.
We're getting to that right now. We're getting to that. I'll give him love. Just give me a minute. Rams upset the Seahawks. A lot of people called that. 30-20. Yeah.
Well, Rams, they have a pretty good defense.
Their
D is really ridiculous and disrupted what Wilson was trying to do.
Yep. I totally agree. And then Walford went down, and then Goff had a chip on his shoulder. He's like, well, shit, you didn't start me, and now I'm in. I'm gonna take us, you know? So
it's gonna be interesting on how he deals with that snow in Green Bay.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that right now. They're gonna face the Packers. Wolford's out. He's ruled out. So I don't know who their backup quarterback is gonna be.
I think they said Blake Bortles.
Okay. He's got experience. So
let's
see. The Bucks took out WFT in a game I thought was really good, actually.
Oh, that was a pretty good game.
Bucks and WFT. WFT had a chance. Bucks got the win, and then the Saints defeated
Tom Brady's just too good.
Well, yeah, and then the Saints beat the Bears. So now, like I said last week,
we got
expected. Breeze versus Brady, bro.
That's going to be a great game. That's going to be an epic game that I'm looking forward to seeing.
That's on Sunday, I believe. The Ravens beat my Titans. I'm going to be humble. I'm a humble loser. Bro, Ravens were ready. King Henry got no yardage. Our defense stepped up. We did good for the first 2 quarters. And then after that, Lamar was like, I'm done with this shit. We're going to rock you guys. And their defense, we had too many turnovers. We didn't.
And Baltimore Ravens, they have a great defense as well.
Yeah, we weren't ready. We just weren't. And then they even gave us a logo receipt, which I didn't like because we did that to them last year. We were dancing on their logo. They did the same thing, and we got.
Oh, yeah.
It's the ultimate insult in sports for you that are listening right now. Don't ever dance on someone's logo. Our team shouldn't have did it. They did it. They kind of got into it.
They paid the price for it. So, I mean, it is what it is.
But get this game. This game's going to be offense versus defense. Ravens and Bills, bro. That's on Saturday, I think. I think that's on Saturday.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Saturday.
So Ravens and Bills. I'm excited for that one. Go Bills.
Oh, I'm really excited. 2 quarterbacks going at it, and Lamar Jackson and Jared freaking Allen. I love that matchup. I'm looking forward to watching that.
But okay, on this next game, you were totally pulling for the underdog. The Browns beat the Steelers. Damn it!
Didn't I say that last week? I said this last week.
Yes, you did. You did.
I did say this last week. Like, I knew this was going to happen because, in order for the Steelers to move forward to these wild card rounds, is they need to run the ball. Clearly, they did not run the ball, and look what happened. It just cost them. And then I don't know how many interceptions that
at least 3, if not more.
I think it was at least 3 interceptions. like 2 costly interceptions
and that fumble
should
at the
not
very
have
beginning of
happened.
the game. The
Yeah,
bad
that
snap.
fumble.
Yeah.
Like Steelers were a good team, but I just didn't see them winning a Super Bowl. And I
No,
didn't,
and they
let
were
alone them going to the Super Bowl.
Ben was off from the beginning, bro. You could just tell.
And I think they
So-
got to move on from Ben pretty quickly. I
But-
think that's what they have to do.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. The Browns are facing the champs, taking on the Chiefs.
My homeboy.
If Mahomes awesome, I love Mahomes. We've been over this.
Mhm.
If the Browns play the way that they played last week, they can beat the champs. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying if they play the way that they played against Pittsburgh, as strong as they did, as hungry as they were, they can beat the Chiefs.
I mean, like, I think because, like, you know what it is? I think, like, I'm going to say it's going to be a close game because the Chiefs have so many different weapons. They have Tyreek Hill, their good wide receiver. They have their tight end and Travis Kelce. They have weapons.
They got Mahomes,
and
bro.
then, man, so it's going to be a tough out, but you know what? If
But the Browns
do
bro,
play
they got
hard. They do
Chubb,
play
they got
hard. So
Hunt, they
I
got
have to give them
Baker.
credit.
Baker is ready. Baker was on fire the last 2 weeks, man. He's fired up and he's a winner. He knows how to win. He went to freaking Oklahoma.
Exactly. I think the Chiefs, I'll still pick the Chiefs to come out that game, but it's going to be a close game, no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. So playoffs are going to be cool. Check this. This is something interesting. A guy by the name of Jared Veldheer is set to play for 2 playoff teams within 2 weeks of each other. How is that possible, you ask? He was on the Colts roster last week, but he didn't play. He wasn't on the 52-man roster, but he was on the team. So therefore, he is allowed to sign with someone else the following week, and he signed with Green Bay. He'll be in Green Bay tomorrow. That's crazy.
Dang, man.
Can you see baseball or basketball trying to pull that crap? Hell no. They would never allow that. No way. No freaking way. And you know what else they don't, that the Eagles didn't allow? Coach Peterson to tank. Coach Peterson's gone. We called it. We said, oh, he screwed up. He's done.
Coach Peterson, yeah, I kind of knew, like, after that game he was going to be fired. It was just a matter of when they're going to fire him because he's just not a good coach. And then, like, the way he answered questions during the press conference really showed that, like, he's just not a great coach. Like, you could tell by his body language, like, he just needs to leave. And then him and Carson Wentz don't even see eye to eye. So
we'll see what happens.
Exactly. So why would you have like a toxic coach like him? Coaching next year with the Eagles. I didn't see that. It's going to
be interesting. And then you got the whole Jalen Hurts Wentz thing you were talking about. We'll see where that goes.
Exactly. So it's like
the Jets.
What do you do?
Well, Coach Gosse got fired too. We talked about that. The Jets hired Coach Saleh, so he's in. So they got their big guy coach. The Jaguars, Urban Meyer. We talked about it. Urban Meyer's coming back to the NFL. Where's he going to go?
Urban Meyer's a great coach. I think I think Jacksonville needed a coach like him because I think like he could move that franchise to a different direction. And I believe they got picks.
And they're
young. First round picks. Yeah. So
Coach made a good, remember the text that Coach sent this week. He said, you know, Urban Meyer is a college coach. I don't see how he does in the NFL. Well, I'm like, yeah, but the Jags are really young. And they're going to have a young quarterback regardless of who they draft.
Exactly. I think they're going to probably draft Sam Darnold.
Well, Darnold's on the Jets.
Oh, Darnold. He's on the Jets.
You're Trevor Lawrence. You're thinking.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence. My bad. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I see them drafting Trevor Lawrence and then like just working their way with through that organization. So
they got there's a good quarterback class this year. Me and GA were talking about this when we talked NCAA football. They got a killer quarterback class. They got Fields, they got Lawrence, they got Mac Jones out of Alabama. Just those 3 alone.
Yeah.
Teams are going to definitely benefit from having those guys.
And Mac Jones balled out.
Yeah, he did.
This past week.
Well, you play behind Tua and frickin' Jalen Hurts your whole life, and you finally get a chance. You're definitely going to want to shine, right?
Oh, hell yeah, because it's like you're dealing with like 2 quarterbacks that's in front of you. So I think with that has to motivate you in some regard to be that great quarterback and hold that tradition of Alabama making it to the championship for the past several years.
Absolutely. 1,000%. It's going to be cool regardless of who goes where. The Jaguars, Urban Meyer, because he has the heart condition. He said he's going to try to take it easy, but it's not going to be easy because you know how passionate he gets.
Oh yeah.
So maybe the Florida area will help him. We'll see. Another guy who doesn't ever take it easy, as a matter of fact, he's one of the hardest hard asses in all of coaching, is the GOAT, Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was set to receive the Medal of Honor. We talked about Medal of Honor when we talked about golf. Two golfers got the Medal of Honor from President Trump. Belichick was supposed to go get one as well. He refused after seeing the action at Capitol Hill. Again, disclaimer, I'm not getting political. I'm just stating facts for our sports show. I'm just saying. So Coach Belichick, he didn't want to go. So, shout out to him.
I wouldn't want to go either.
Especially in your like we just said, you're representing your brand. Do you want to be a part of that? We're going to leave it at that. I don't want, the 10,000 tweets or whatever coming through. Hey,
and I'm not really a Trump supporter anyway.
You don't need to come blow up your house or anything, none of that crap.
Exactly.
So, and I have friends on both sides. So just leaving it there. All right. So here we're talking about refusing a deal, refusing to do something. And how about a deal? Would you do this deal? Okay. Watson is pissed off, and I don't blame him. Deshaun Watson. And I'll be surprised if JJ Watt stays in Houston too. Watson's pissed. He wants out, obviously. Would you do this deal? Tua Tagovailoa for Deshaun Watson. Miami and Houston.
That's tough.
They're both young. They're both doing good.
I think I'll make that deal only because Tua's been balling out.
Would you make Miami throw in a pick maybe? Or
I would have to make Miami throw in a pick because of how good Deshaun Watson is.
Yeah,
give me Tua and then give me at least a couple of picks.
Yeah,
the first rounder, third rounder, because I do need some capital back just so I could manage my team for the upcoming future.
Yeah, I don't see Watson wearing a Texan helmet next year. I'm just saying.
No, I don't either.
And like I said, JJ Watt deserves better too. Okay, we made it to the end. We're only 7 minutes over. I think that's pretty good. Let's talk playoffs. Let's do our predictions.
Okay.
I'll let you pick. You want to talk NFC first or AFC?
It doesn't matter.
You're so helpful. Let's do AFC, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, Ravens and Bills. I want Buffalo. I think it's going to be a close game. Defense versus offense. Buffalo 27, Ravens 20.
Okay. For my prediction, man, the Ravens, they look really good right now. Lamar Jackson looks really good. He's so, like I said, he's electric. He's one of the fastest quarterbacks that we have in our league. So I'm just gonna say my prediction score will be probably 20-23 Ravens.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just put my book. On the other end, we got the Browns and the Chiefs. We just talked about this. If the Browns come in strong, they can get the dub. I'm still picking the Chiefs to win, but I think they're going to be really close. I think they're going to win. I'm going to say by a touch. No, I'm going to say by 10. I'm going to say by 10. I'm going to say we'll go 30-20, I guess. I don't even think it's going to be that. I think it might be lower. So I'll go 30-20 champs.
I think I'll go 21-14 champs too. Okay. Champs as well. I can't, man, my homeboy has been balling out of his mind, man. I have to go with my homeboy on this one.
And they had the week off too.
So they're really well rested and they're motivated to getting back to work to defending their crown.
Yep. All right. NFC side, the game that everybody wants to see. Breeze, Brady, Bucks, Saints. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think both quarterbacks are going to get targeted and get leveled a couple times just to test them. It's going to be awesome. Honestly, I just think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be two future Hall of Famers going at it. Oh my God, the Bucks are on fire right now, bro. And I you know how I feel about Tom Brady.
Yeah, I already know. You love to ridicule him.
Oh my God, I don't know, bro. I mean,
but he's the GOAT.
The Bucks, Gronk's on fire right now. You know, AB was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
God, but the Saints are killing it too. They destroyed Chicago on Nickelodeon, which was the dumbest thing ever. But oh my God. Jesus criminy. 33-30, New Orleans.
Okay. I'm gonna say 35-42 Buccaneers.
Woo! Okay.
It's gonna be a high scoring game because these two quarterbacks want to put the ball downfield.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. All right. And I left this one for last because it's got a LA team in it. Our very own, I say that, I'm wearing Titans gear. Our city's very own LA Rams against one of the other GOATs, future Hall of Famer, champion, Rodgers. Man.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, sir.
He's
Green
a
Bay
bad man.
Rested Green Bay Packers in Green Bay in the snow, man. You got to go with the Packers. I mean,
okay, I'll say this. My heart really is pumping LA Rams right now.
Yeah.
It's pumping hard LA Rams right now. But because they're going to be in the snow and because Jared Goff is not fully healthy because of that thumb injury that he suffered, and he has not played in that type of weather condition in the snow in Green Bay, man, and then it'll depend on how Aaron Donald's feeling too, because
he said he's going to play. He's hurt.
He's going to play. But I just have to see how effective he's going to be when he plays, because when you're hurt and then you still play, you have that mobility that you're going to drag on throughout that whole game. So, man, but my mind is saying Green Bay. I'll say Green Bay by a touchdown. So I'm gonna say because the Rams defense has been so great throughout the year. I'm gonna say 7-14.
You think it's gonna be that low? Wow. Okay. George, you froze. You can't freeze at the end of the show.
Rodgers, man.
Okay. You kind of froze at the end there. You said 20. You said 14-7.
I say 14-7.
Wow, that's kind of low for these teams. Okay, I'm gonna go 27-14 Green Bay.
Ooh, okay.
We'll see. Regardless, these playoffs are gonna kick ass. That's all I gotta say about that. If you got anything else, throw it out there now. Otherwise, we're out of here. So you got anything else? Regardless, NFL playoffs, excited, not excited? I think all these matchups are gonna be dope.
Oh yeah. I just want to see some good games. I want to see some close games. I did want to see Alabama and Ohio State be a close game, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
I want to see a good game, but the game got they blew that game open by the second quarter.
Yeah, they did.
So I don't want this to happen on these matchups tomorrow. But with that said, the NFL's here. NFL playoff is here.
Yes, sir. It's getting real.
On top.
It's getting real. We can still have that. About that. We can still have that State Farm Super Bowl.
With Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes.
It could happen. We'll see
it could happen. Hey, you know what it is? That could be a great storyline.
Bro,
Patrick
State
Mahomes
Farm, bro.
Against Aaron Rodgers.
Remember, we said this at the beginning of the playoffs. State Farm was foaming at the mouth when they saw that both teams made it. They were like, "Oh my God, this could actually happen." They both got number ones. So.
Oh yeah, as expected.
Yeah, they're gonna make that money. It's gonna be crazy. This whole sports week was crazy. I can't wait to see what's coming this week. Don't forget, you got the Holloway fight is coming up tomorrow. Also, Liverpool versus Manchester United is facing off this Sunday as well. What else? I'm just going through really, really quick stuff maybe you didn't get to catch. Big NHL matchups. Ducks have their opener on Monday against the Minnesota Wild. Check that out as well. Let's see what the hell's going on with Kyrie. Will he get his stuff straight? Will he not get his stuff straight? What other records is Lamello Ball going to break, at the age of 19? And the big trade went down. Now it's time to see how those teams react to that big trade. Let's see. Baseball. What are the big? There's a lot of big baseball deals that could still go down as well. We'll keep our eyes and ears open for that. And like we just said, NFL playoffs, divisional round. We're 2 steps away from the Super Bowl, man. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, I can't wait until that Super Bowl, man.
Regardless of who it's gonna be, it's gonna be badass. And I thought we did pretty good today, looking at the circumstances we had. Want to say thank you so much to my dude George Ochola. Came in a little late, but he was at work. And then thank you to Gilbert, who wasn't feeling too hot, but he was here. And then we had our other crew members having life issues that they got to take care of. You know, life comes first. That's just how it is. But we somehow will always be here to bring you the updates of the big stuff going on in sports, our opinions, Ricky's rants. You know, G'd up with Gilbert now. We got to get George a segment. We'll think of something. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. Don't forget to tune in later today or later after after this show at 3 p.m. on YouTube. All Sports Media Team Double Dribble presents Experiencing Some Deja Vu with Deja Maddox. Y'all don't want to miss that one. 3 o'clock on YouTube.
I love that girl. I love that girl. Every time I see her on Instagram, she's always smiling.
Won't miss it. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be epic. And I think she's going to have some pretty badass stories. So have an awesome night. George, have an awesome night. Be safe. Let's enjoy those playoffs. Have a great time. And remember, whether you're trying to score in life or climb the ladder of success, always reach for the title. Peace out, George.
Peace out.